this is a full detailed tutorial on how to import a base and a head, and how to sculpt and edit a base and a head, and how to do that with a reference. So you want to start, and you can see my my like keys and all over here. So you want to start by clicking and dragging up to your collection, right clicking on your collection, like in your hierarchy, and clicking delete. This will delete your default cube and all the extra things you won't need. You're going to click, and it's different layout for each version. I'm using Blender version 2.993, so 2.93.0. So if my layout looks different than yours, don't fret. It's all kind of like the same process. Go up to File, Import, FBX, and I'm going to be using Miruku Safe Work Base. I will kind of edit a picture of it up on the screen or something. Import it by clicking it twice, double clicking it, and it should be in your scene. Now I'm not going to be enabling the viewpoint shader for textures while I edit this base, just in case. I'm actually going to merge the underwear to the base, just in case. But if you wanted to viewpoint and see your textures, you see these 4 circles up here. Click the third circle, one of the middle circles. Then we do this one at a time. So we're gonna do the body first. I'll put a time skip up if you want to skip to where I'm ending the head. So you're gonna go up into your scene collection hierarchy thing. You're gonna drop down this arrow, just so you can see your base and your armature. Then you're going to click this eyeball icon next to it to hide the armature, which is perfect. Now to import a reference, I think it's been a little bit since I've done this. You're going to click Add at the top, then Image, Reference. And I need to go down to my reference, so give me a hot second. Okay, you're going to click on your reference. I don't know if you can actually see my inside of my files part, but you're going to click on your reference image. I have a JPG, and you're going, well, it can be PNG, any PNG, JPEG, etc. can work. I'm going to click Load Reference Image, and it's going to load it really big. I'm going to scale it down by clicking at the top, and move it by clicking in the middle and moving it. You can also use here on the side to rotate it, move it, etc. I don't really need it. I normally don't work with a reference, but there are many people who do. So here's how to add a reference. And we'll delete this reference at the end. So I'm trying to make this body look like this face here. Or this face look like this body here. So I'm going to click, you see this kind of axis here? I'm going to click -Y to take me to the front view. I'm going to go from object mode at the very top while being selected on the base and click sculpt mode. Then I'm going to click this X at the top. That kind of looks like a butterfly being mirrored. And here we start. So first, I'm going to start with the general shape I want to go for. I can zoom in, use shift to move around, get close, get far, etc. You're going to, well, at least what I do, is go all the way down to this nice little yellow section that says elastic deform. Then I'm going to increase my radius so that it's not so tiny. Right now I have it at 50. I'm going to up it to, we can do 93. So because we mirrored it up at the top, if you don't want things symmetrical, I'll teach you how to do that in a second. But since we mirrored it at the top, these two sides are going to move together. If they do not move together, go back into object mode, Carl A, then do all transforms. This will make sure all that is fixed. It will fix your center. In sculpt mode, you're just really gonna play around with it. You're gonna click and drag. So over here, it shows 2 dips. We already have those 2 dips, but I want to make them lower, like seen in the reference. Long torso. I'm gonna make them lower. So I'm gonna grab at the top of this one to make it lower. And then we're going to fix up the shaping. I'm going to click and drag my mouse outwards. I'm just going to exit this mode. To exit the little view mode, you're going to just click your middle mouse wheel and drag out of it. So I'm just going to kind of pull it until it looks the way I want it to look. This looks decently like the reference here. Then I'm going to pull out here. And her thigh is kind of aligned with that. So I'm going to kind of shift to the side so I can get the side of the thigh. So just doing it the middle. And pull it outwards. There are other tools you can use. I'm going to teach you how to use them. If you want the legs to be a bit straighter, you can go into your view and from the middle and pull in. You can do the same with the knees if you're trying to get a certain shape. I like to pay really close attention to detail on everything. So she has longer thighs. Now I don't recommend pulling and straying too far from your armature's original shape where, if you show your armature, it shows this is where the lower leg is and this is where the upper leg is. I don't recommend straying too far from that, but you can give it effect, illusion. So I would move this upward, the crease of where the leg meets the torso, and kind of lower the knees just a little bit. And then she has calves that kind of come out a bit more, and then they go back in very sharply. There we go. Now we kind of have like the legs done here. I'm gonna make them a teeny bit in more so they are more aligned with the thighs. And then if you want to switch to side, you can click either the X's, the Y, the Z. You can just go crazy with your positioning. But I'm going to come to the side here, and I'm going to kind of make the thighs and the calves, the whole leg, look a bit more natural to the proportions I just gave. So I'm gonna make the thighs get out a little bit more, just a tiny bit, just stay true to the reference. Then the inner leg, like where the knee is. I'm bad with naming body parts, guys. And just kind of shape it up. This is really just a whole bunch of playing around with things until you get to a place where you like or until you get it accurate. I will kind of speed up this video just a tad bit. Now, a lot of people like to mess with the torso, including myself. So here, I want to make the torso look exactly like it is here. So I'm going to actually move the belly button down. To move the belly button down, I'm going to increase my radius, and go to the center of the belly button, and like drag it down, and then drag the torso that just move it back up. See? Then I'm going to lower my radius again, and we're going to kind of make her waist a bit more like a sharper triangle. So what I like to do here is I go in a little bit from the side, move it down. Then once I moved it down, I take it and I kind of cinch it by pulling right underneath where I made it come down, and that kind of gives it more of a triangle. I'm so bad at words. Kind of like a triangle effect. Then I'm gonna make her chest go out like that. Perfect. Now she doesn't have that much hip, so what I like to do for the hips is I'm going to, I'll show you in a second how to do the opposite of this. I'm going to increase my radius. Then I'm going to go right below where the hip is, so near the thigh, and pull it in slightly. You can do this any part of the body and it'll make it smaller. Now if you want it bigger, wider, for the thighs and legs, you can skip to this timestamp. Woo, timestamp. So, continuing this, I'm not going to mess the arms too much. Her arms here are very, like the same size as her forearms. So I think I'm going to do, instead of shaping them, is I'm going to switch to my smooth tool. The smooth tool can be used on cylinder areas to make it slimmer, the entire thing slimmer. All I have to do is back up a little bit and click like once. See? That automatically zoomed. Now, the reference here has a bit of a bigger chest, so I'm going to show you guys how to make a chest bigger. But first I'm going to do some personal edits, so. The smooth tool can also be used to kind of smooth in the texture, so I think I'm going to smooth it up here. No, not all the way. Smooth it here. Make it whole thing softer. Softer curve, softer everything. This smooth tool can also be used kind of like an eraser. If I want to erase this back here to make the also smooth, I can. I don't think I want to do that, but I can do that if I want to. I'm just going to do like the bottom here where it connects. Now, most faces come with blend shapes to make things bigger or smaller, but I'm going to show you how to do it manually, my way of doing it, especially if you like to edit things bigger or smaller. Once more, I will show you how to make it back smaller in the timestamp scene. So I'm going to switch back to my elastic deform tool and kind of come at an angle and be right where the center of the breast would be, and kind of pull it out. I'm not so worried about, you know, the nip and where that will be because it's fully covered, the safe work base. But if you are worried about that, it's easy to sculpt your back, and you'll probably have to figure out how to do that outside of this video, because I can't show that. And come up. You can also do this with a Cat's Blender plugin, and I'll show you how to do that also. How to make a features figure also with Cat's Blender plugin. But just for right now, I'm going to kind of shape it out. It's so hard with the bra on. Looky. Don't do this, folks. Shape your clothing around your base. Don't shape with your clothing on your base. Just until it looks round enough. But they don't always have to be round. Just letting you guys know. They don't always have to be round. I often make them flat. If you want it softer, you can soften it up. The connection. You can bring it down. You can do a whole bunch of things with shaping. You can do practically whatever shape you want here. There's a lot of messing around, making sure everything is to your liking. I also like to use the inflate tool at times, but I won't use it here because it can cause issues if you don't know where your texture is, what your texture looks like, etc. There we go. We've officially kind of upped the chest size to look a bit more like the model here. Now, if you want to make the chest smaller, make the butt bigger, make the whole thing more tummy, less tummy, always play around with your personal preferences. I'm going to show you here how to make the butt bigger using cats. Now, mind you, if I have like the boobs small shape key, and I go into cats, and I go into pose mode, when I exit pose mode out of this, my blend shapes are going to be reset. They aren't going to be gone. They're just going to reset back to 0. So take a mental note of where your blend shapes are, what you have them doing, etc. So I'm going to go and click start pose mode. I'm going to click my viewpoint wireframe so I can see my bones. I'm going to click my butt root, or butt. Yeah, we'll just do butt. I'm going to click the X at the top. I'm going to go back into my view. I'm going to click the third one down. That's a scale. And I'm going to scale. And I'm gonna use the move tool too. I'm gonna move things. I have made the butt bigger. You also have to sculpt, but this is just a little trick, a little life hack I have learned. You can sculpt from after you mess with the bones and kind of adjust things, make things bigger. Then you're gonna click apply rest pose. To my knowledge, this doesn't affect anything negatively, unless you're like messing with like arm and leg length that way in Blender. That can be bad. Also, don't do this and then re-import your model over an existing model. Only do that with blend shapes. Don't do it with bones. It will break your model and you'll be very sad. So, after I've done that, you can see it saved my little pose. My little pose has been saved. And I can go into sculpt mode and make the butt very much bigger. I can use my wonderful smooth tool to smooth out and erase things that need to be smoothed out and or erased. I would also say you can use your inflate tool here. For your inflate tool, now, I wouldn't use this on the chest, but on the butt, there's often not anything messing with that. So you can use your inflate tool and inflate, and it's going to make it very, very inflated, very big. Inflate tool is personally my favorite tool for like making things bigger in a short period of time. I'm going to make it back simply though. So now that we've messed with that, I'm kind of showing you the basics of how to use set tools. Now you know how to use set tools. Perfectionist me. I'm now going to show you how to make it more. So I'm going to delete my reference, but same way I deleted my cube. Right click, delete. Then we're going to focus on making this like a bit thicker. Yeah, that's my choice of words for today. So to pull the hips outward. Sorry, my blinked. To pull the hips outward, you need to grab from the center of the hip. And bam, boom, we've pulled it outward. Yay! For the thighs, you can also use the inflate tool, but if you're making a spicy model, don't recommend doing it around the groin area. Recommend only staying on the outer the outskirts, and you can just kind of plump it out. Yeah, plump, that's a nice word. See how it creates a nice round plumping effect. The inflate tool is going to be your best friend, I swear. I know for sure it's my best friend. You've made the thighs more thick, plump, whatever you like to call it, bigger. If you want to add shape on the inside or on the outside, here I'm going to kind of curve that inward and then curve this inward. Depending on where you curve your things, it gives different effects. Ooh. So this, for me doing it here and a little bit here, this makes the thighs look very big from this angle. You can do the same thing here, you pull it inward here and then go like this, and this adds dimension. Make sure you're getting all angles because you don't want it being flat in some places, but not in others. Use your smooth tool for imperfections, anything you don't like the way it looks. Bam, you now have thick thighs. Then, if you want more tummy, and I might even show, I'm also going to show how to do a, like chubby slider. Yeah. I'll show you how to make a chubby blend shape. Yeah. But right now, we just want to give our little avatar more curve, more voluptuosity, I don't know. Now to pull things down. Now, here's an issue that I also want to let you know. If you're messing a lot in the same spot, sometimes, see here, it's not working on certain areas. So, to fix that, instead of having to, you know, not work on this bit, you can go into object mode, go back into sculpt mode, and it will kind of reset, and it will work again. Very basic tutorial. These avatar bases will not be used to make avatars. If you want to go for like a look of like a longer upper torso, you can pull the waist down. If you want a longer lower torso, you can pull the waist up. I think I'm going to pull the waist down and pull the hips out. create more of like a hip definition. One thing with that. Now, don't always use this tool for everything, but you can also use the draw tool to get yourself started on a nice little tummy. And I would smooth out the already made bump and create a new one. To create kind of like the underside of the belly, you can use the crease tool, and the crease tool will follow where you have it and make a crease. No, that's not very good crease, so we're gonna try it. There we go. You can just pull the belly, make belly. You can also do this up here and on the sides as well. Say you want to really cinch that waist, you can use the crease tool. You can come from here and cinch it. It's also good for making like belly rolls. That it gives like a very adorable look for chubby advertise. So say I wanted to create a roll here. Like I'm gonna pull this out a little bit. Say I wanted to create like a roll here. So I could pull this out. It's just a random spot for a roll, but I can pull this out and use my tool here. You can use your tool here, guide definition, to like the V line. If I want to create a roll, I could kind of like drag it down, make it more roll like, then smooth it out so it doesn't look like insane. I would also push in at the top of any spot you got to roll. Gives it a very rolly feel. Very odd spot for a roll, but you know, you can work with it. I don't think rolls are supposed to be like on your chest, like with this body shape. Me personally, I would, to make it look more realistic, pull it down slightly, because that works better. There you go. And you can like pull it out. So if you want to pull out the chest, but you're having issues just getting that right angle without it affecting the boob, you can do it from the back, and it will create a better effect there. I don't know what I created. Or, just playing around with things. That's my servants like this little. Now that you have created your rolls, but there's not enough belly, and you want to give more belly, you can also come out and like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just playing around with things. But you can play around with a lot of tools. And I said I would make you a tutorial on how to make the chest smaller as well. So for chest smaller, often with like super big chest, gravity applies. Gravity is a thing, okay? Gravity does things that make things go downward. But with smaller chests, there's less gravity. So, because it's less like weight pulling, gravity pulls down. So if I want to make the chest smaller, I'm gonna do less of a gravitated effect. The smooth tool for the smaller chest will be your best friend because it just automatically does half the work for you. I know this doesn't look good, but please look at my previous work. I promise I'm good at this. I'm just gonna soften that there. There we go. The goal of this is to teach, not to make it look good. I need to keep reminding myself of that. No, it doesn't even look bad. Just gonna give some more shape. You can do back rolls too. This looks very silly. I'm trying. Okay. Now, oh, that makes it look 10 times better. Okay, I fixed it. For chubby, I often make the entire like back not gonna fit, but this base is so hard to work with, I swear. Never struggled so much making a chubby sweater for a base before. Let me get a good choice. Something about this part. There we go. There we go. So skip forward. Bam. And for chubbier body types, my server taught me this. Thanks, guys. The arms use the inflate tool. And also the lower leg, because chub applies everywhere. And bam. You make this as chubby, or as not chubby, or whatever shape you may want. But here's what I did for the chubby. I might add some more belly. Yeah. Here is my tutorial on how to do the body part. Now, we're gonna go ahead and edit it. So I'm gonna completely, actually, I missed something. So, if you want to make a blend shape for this, say, I wanted a blend shape for the breast shape, sure. We can click the plus, we can click the triangle for object data properties, then the plus, and that creates a new key. I'm gonna name this key chest shape, just so I don't lose where it's at. Go back to sculpt mode, and I can just change the shape. I can just change the shape, you know. You want to always, when you're editing a blend shape, have it at 100 or 1. And heck, I want to do this. So, there's my blend shape. And I'll apply that in Unity. Woohoo! So, edit time. Now, I'm going to delete that. And for this head edit, I'm going to be using Willa head. So the same process to import Willa head will be the same process as the same way for everything. So I'm going to import Willa head. Then go into my view, up to it. For head edits, I always recommend doing this in viewpoint shader. So here is our lovely Willa head. I'm going to turn the reflect down to 0. And I'm going to click add, image, reference. I'm going to go down the reference. Probably should have did this the first time. I have my giant reference here. I'm going to scale my reference down and move it all around. So now that we have a reference of what we're going to try to go for, kind of like a doll-esque look, we can begin. The first thing you want to do when editing head edits, well, head editing, is go into edit mode by at the top underneath object mode, clicking out. Then you're going to want to hover over which you would like to separate. So I'm going to hover over and separate the eyes first, whatever iris may be in there. Right click, separate, selection. And that's all I'm going to do here, but you can use that method on the lashes. Actually, just for the sake of it, I'll remove the eyebrows and the eyelashes as well. So hover over, L, right click, separate, selection. We can do this one more time. L, continue clicking L continuously. We're just gonna separate by selection. I normally don't separate the lashes unless I'm changing like their thickness, which I guess we'll do here. So we can add everything besides the eyes back for now. We're gonna remove the lashes, I guess. Actually, yeah. Okay, then we're gonna go click on it, sculpt mode, click that X at the top. Never forget to click that X unless you want to asymmetrical. So for asymmetrical, we are not gonna click that X, and we can like one eye down. Here, we can go like this. Yeah, that's how you do it for asymmetrical. But for symmetrical, I want to make the eyes rounder. Makes it 10 times harder for me when I do it a different way to teach someone, basically. That's what we're doing today. So we're gonna make the shape the way we want. And this is how I start off learning. Eventually you'll be able to envision it and not need the shaping at all. But it is still useful to have foldings down around the cheeks and the eyes. Then you'll go into this lashes and click sculpt mode, the wonderful X. You can go and edit their shape by pulling on various. It really is a trial and error, but so many people have asked for a lovely tutorial. And so I shall provide a lovely tutorial. Now you've made the eyes bigger. I want to add a face shape definition. So I'll bring the cheeks out, and I'll bring and cheeks down. Perfect. Now say I want the eyelashes to be thicker, and I want it done quickly. I will grab the grab tool. Start at the bottom, or the top, whichever you prefer. And you can kind of thicken them out really quickly. This can also help your edit look more natural if you've made bigger eyes. See? Then I'm gonna add lips. The lips here have kind of like an M shape, and this is kind of like a sad shape. I'm going to make the lips thicker by using my I'll use my grab tool. And use your grab tool here. Make sure you use your switch tool anytime something is unsmooth. Always use the switch tool. Switch tool is your best friend. Whoa. There we go. I want the lips to come out a little bit. And I just want thicker lips. Thicker bottom lips. I switched to my elastic deform tool for this because I just do it impulsively at this point. Too bad. That makes switching tools. Now the lips are bigger, but they look kind of silly. You can go like this, bring it in, then go like that. So what I did there, I'll go back and do it again. So I pulled in from this side to make a V, then I pulled down to make that M, then I pulled down in the middle to change that V, and pulled up in the middle of the top. Just kind of play around with shapes. And that looks very pucker, very cutesy indeed, but I'm going to move the entire face up. Remember we do this with body edit. So to move something up, go big or go home. Move this down a little bit so I can move the face up. Definition, lower cheeks. Bigger eyes. And we can do like a cute little button nose. I know what I envisioned that having. But button nose, you can also make it like rounder. And I'll give the button nose appearance. Then I'm gonna just play around with it a bit more until it looks to my liking. Then I'm going to add back the eyes. See how they're all misshapen? Unless you like it this way, you can click the X and go in more. Put this side in. And for the eyebrows, I'm going to teach you guys how I do my signature to the circle eyebrow. So what I'm going to do for the circle eyebrow is I'm going to go into edit mode and go into my viewpoint shader. And then I'm going to select the parts I want to keep. Then go to select, invert, and delete the ones I do not want to keep. So I want these to be very short, very cute eyebrows. And then I'll do the rest of this in sculpt mode. So X. The reason I do the most of this in sculpt mode is because it can mess up your avatar if you don't be careful with how much you do in edit mode. And see how I'm just grabbing the points and pulling them. See how I have a circle here? Get them to the shape I want. And then view how it looks. Honestly, the eyebrows make a break an avatar's look. Now, if you want to do some like whole face edits, you can merge everything besides eyes again. Don't merge eyes, and do some more editing. I normally go back and do this right at the end, so that I guarantee it looks cute. I want bigger eyes. Another way to make the eyes look bigger is to pull them inward and then pull the iris, the eyeball, in as well. That automatically makes eyes look huge. And I can't stress this enough. Once you're happy with the way your edit looks, which I am, it's not really my specific style, but I'm happy with it the way it looks, you can test your blend shapes. So I'm gonna draw my eyes back. And then eyes blink. Ruh-roh, there's a tiny bit of clipping. I'm gonna teach you how to fix it really fast. So go back into your bases. Select your eye parts. I'm only gonna select a few of them because I don't need to select all of them for this, so I'll keep those last few. And separate them. You see where it clips here, the culprit? Instead of having to go through all of your blend shapes for this specific issue, you can move in your bases with the blend shapes activated. The bottom of underneath it, you can move that backwards. This won't change the way your head looks without the blend shapes. I show you. Still looks the same, right? So instead of having to go back and individually doing that, there's little tricks you can do that can fix that issue. Still looks the same. Another way I like to make my avatar cuter, my avatar's head cuter, because I do cute style, is I move the iris in a little bit. Just a tiny bit is all it needs. And your head edit is done. You have your button nose, your round eyes. Maybe not as round as reference, I can fix that real quick. If I want it to look a bit rounder, go like that. I'm just gonna move the mouse down. And with that being said, it is done. And that's kind of the end of my tutorial here. I know it was really long. I'm gonna try to do other tutorials in the future that might be helpful, but this is kind of my beginner tutorial on how to sculpt bodies and heads. Yeah.